right. Greetings and welcome to Africa Online Media Corporation. It is Sunday, the 22nd of June, 2025. It is the 173rd day of this 2025 on the Gregorian calendar. That leaves us, would you believe it, 192 days until the end of the year. It is the beginning of summer in North America and in Europe, the Northern Hemisphere, that is. So let's just get going. Out there, it's, I see 96 degrees as of now, but the weather people are telling us that it may get even worse. By Wednesday, we're supposed to be hitting the hundreds. We will see what happens. The Almighty knows better how he handles these days. That said, it is National, forgive me, Kissing Day. It is National Kissing Day.
What?
And believe it or not, it is National Kissing Day. And we understand that when lips meet and hearts flutter, the world feels like it's spinning in slow motion. And for a moment, everything seems to stand still and nothing else seems to matter. Well, that is for lovebirds or for would-be lovebirds. Whatever it is National Kissing Day in the United States of America. It is also, well, this is national, this is international actually. It is World Rainforest Day, an annual observance that seeks to highlight the crucial role of the Earth's climate, because the environment, especially the rainforest, which many people are seeking to devastate every day, provides us with such an ecosystem that stabilizes the Earth's climate and maintains its biodiversity. But then, we never know who will do what to hurt the Earth. That being said, today on this program, in this show, we are still with men, because June we devoted totally to men. June is the month for men, and it has been and remains Men's Month, a month during which Africa Online Media Corporation honors, celebrates, and gives a shout out to those males who in one way or the other have impacted lives and provided sturdy shoulders on which children, wives, would-be wives, mothers, and other females look up to be sure that they live their lives the best way they can. But then we start from here. We begin this reflection with a reminder. Last Thursday, June 19, was Juneteenth, and according to Yahoo News, quote, a holiday that commemorates the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States. It became a federal holiday in 2021, years after, when then President Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act into law. Now, across the country, many people have off from work day and use Juneteenth to celebrate, reflect, and educate themselves on the dark history of slavery in the United States. Some people don't do it. Yes, we know. But then, facts are facts, history is history, and must not be distorted. Juneteenth commemorates June 19, 1865. That is history now. That was when Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced that over 250,000 enslaved people were free. More than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation had been issued by President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of this country, which declared, that is that declaration of that Emancipation Proclamation, declared slaves in the Confederate States free. As we remember and celebrate, we recall that the 13th Amendment to the American Constitution in January 1865 had finally and formally proposed the national abolition of slavery. So abolitionists had been working for it, and they finally saw their day. Juneteenth is observed by holiday closings of banks, post offices, the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ stock exchanges, and other financial markets. It happened last Thursday. This, quote, longest running African-American holiday, end of quote, also called America's Second Independence Day, reminds us of that ongoing journey in search of a more perfect union, nearly 350 years after the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. Yes, the journey to a more perfect union continues relentlessly. So too is the journey to positioning our menfolk where they rightly belong, family heads and breadwinners in a world of diminishing respect and honor for the male person in the family, community, and nation. Our discussion today highlights that role and invites each of us to focus on what Ekimondo describes as, quote, a time when narratives around masculinity are increasingly divisive and distorted, a time when men are not in crisis because of who they are, but rather because of what they lack. Top on the list of concerns is economic insecurity, isolation, and harmful norms which are driving a dangerous mix of despair and grievance in the world. Men are like, oh, they're strangers in themselves, they're strangers to where they belong, they're strangers in everything. But whatever we do, whatever we say, men need respect, men need to be shown dedication, they need to be shown love, they need to be shown care, and they need to be shown commitment, because in the final analysis, they are the breadwinners, the people who stress and who strain and stress because they want to make sure that we all have what we want. Because the men strain and stress because they want to make sure that the house rent is paid, that the children's school fees are paid, that the partners, that is their wives, are taken care of, that their headaches are taken care of, and that whatever happens to them, they, the men, ensure that there is a smile on those faces that may, from time to time, frown, but not because they want to frown, but because they thought that you said the wrong word, or because they think that you are not being caring enough. Whatever it is, positioning our menfolk that is an obligation, a responsibility for you and I, because positioning our men for the future is very important so that we do not repeat the mistakes of yesterday, so that we move forward confident that together we will build a better and a more prosperous world, a more just society. So here we go, back to our chair, Reverend Dr. Palm. Your Highness, please welcome us all to this program. I think we're just all of us, just the usual people. So let us get the show going.
Well, not the usual. Ambassador Lisa is not on, Debbie is not on, but that's fine. Dr. Crossley is here. You are here as always, and I want to welcome our viewers, those that are watching live on YouTube and those that are going to watch later. And thank you so much, Nia Song, for your faithfulness and for your amazing editorial. I never heard of National Kissing Day, you know, so only God knows what's going to happen with all that kissing that's going to happen today.
Yes.
But, you know, this topic, position of men for the future, is really critical because historically our men have been endangered species, and even now, more so than ever, it is critically imperative that our men are positioned for the future. The world is moving at the speed of light, and we are interconnected globally. So even some of the jobs that our men used to do in their local environment, those jobs are up for grabs. And in the age of artificial intelligence, our men cannot be left behind. So we are talking today about positioning our men. It's not just about artificial intelligence or technology. It's also about, their morale, starting from the home. It is very important that both the women and the children lift up the men at home. That helps their self-worth, helps their self-esteem, and helps their morale. So when they step outside the house, they are already armed with enough love and confidence to conquer whatever gets thrown at them. I'm going to go to Dr. Crosslin. Dr. Crosslin, we can't see you. We just see part of your right arm. If you can add, there you go. We need to see, the world need to see how beautiful you are. That's why you are Miss Senior Virginia World 2025. So
Yes, ma'am.
we are talking about positioning our men for the future. What is your take, Dr. Crosslin?
Well, I think, thanks again for this platform and this think tank, the brain bank that you have created
Thank you.
and began, Dr. Pam, Her Excellency, and to the viewers and to Professor Niasan. I agree that respect is the biggest thing. It's the biggest notion that we can bestow upon a man. And me growing up in the church, and respect was just automatic. We were, I love my granddad. And respect was part of our home as well, and part of the church. We grew up, with respect. And so I think in our culture in the United States, I think most homes we grow up respecting our dads and men in general. And places like Detroit, for example, no offense to Detroit, but, and I think like even Marvin Gaye, I think that's what happened between him and his dad. It was an issue of respect, being disrespected. So we do need to get back to respecting our culture, our men. And I think that's what happened with George Floyd. He was being disrespected by that officer. And I think that's part of what our culture felt like. Wow, that is just no regard for Black Lives Matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, we have to do everything we must to be able to ensure that the men remain confident of who they are, strong believers in the fact that as heads of families, as heads of communities, they are there helping us to make a difference, to make the future, to make tomorrow better than yesterday. Because the men must show that strength, that willingness to be there for you, to be there for me, to be there for all of us. Because without the men, well, I don't know if we will be able to get everything that we need in our society, lifting the heavy burdens, lifting the challenges, challenging those who challenge us, and ensuring that what is not right is put right. Because we together work as a people to ensure that each and every one receives the treatment he or she deserves. But the men, if they are pushed aside, they will not provide what they ought to provide. but they have to be confident of themselves. They have to be sure that what they are doing is the right thing, not shouting down on the women because they are women, not shouting down on the children because they are children, but ensuring that, as I said before, they provide that steady shoulder on which the women, on which the children, and on which the entire community relies for support, so that together we move forward to build a better world.
Thank you, Niason. You know, when I was growing up, I worshiped my dad. I worshiped my dad so much. My dad was a prince, and he was a man in authority, but he mingled with the down and out and the up and out and the down and, thriving and the up and thrive. He mingled with everybody. He did not let royalty get into his head, and for you to be a prosecutor in the high courts and you lose your wife and the city basically shuts down to mourn, that tells you the kind of prosecutor he was, a prosecutor that believed in second chances, that will actually plead with a judge to give offenders a second chance or tender justice with mercy. And but the confidence that my dad instilled in all of us, myself and my siblings, it's just so amazing. We don't have to struggle to be who we are. We are very happy with who we are. And it's because that was instilled in my dad by his dad. Actually his mother, because his dad died when he was young, and people don't understand, especially parents, when they say things to their children. When you keep calling your children, whether male or female, negative names, stupid, foolish, they're gonna grow up to be stupid and foolish men. But when you put in blessings, you sow blessings into their lives, that's what they're gonna become. They're gonna emanate that, and they will transcend it to their children and impute it on their generation. They will inculcate it into them. So it is so important. Each time my dad left the house, every time, I never saw that man with a wrinkled shirt. Everybody knew him, Mr. GQ, always on point. He wore suits every day to work. Even when he was casual, you will not see whether it was his shoes or his shirt or whatever he wore. It was always crisp. He had a dry cleaner. But I'm just saying, growing up looking at that, there was no way we could not copy it. And he instilled that in my brothers. I have 7 brothers. And they are instilling it in their children. Just on Juneteenth, I saw a Juneteenth celebration in Dallas. They were playing Davido's music. One of my nephews, one of my brother's son, they invited the audience, people were shy. He jumped on stage and he basically did an Usher and Michael Jackson on stage. But this is a grown man with his own children. But he had that confidence in that large crowd to do that. So I'm just saying it is important that even if our men are struggling with something, we have to encourage them. There are men who are afraid of computers. It's up to us, their wives and daughters and children and brothers and sisters, to say, look, you can do it. A computer is just a machine. A human being created it. A human being fit in the data. You can do it. In the past, I used to ask my daughter, how do you do this? It's like, Mom, just go to YouTube. There's a video of how to do anything you want, or Google. That solved it for me. The other day, I was trying to figure out where to open my hood. It was a Cadillac, and we didn't really know where it was. And I went to Google, YouTube, and somebody had done a video on it. So information is power. So we need to share information with our men. We need to empower them, and be supportive and also be patient, because some people have phobia of technology. We have to be patient, and we can correct them, but we have to correct them with love and respect. Dr. Croston was talking about respect. It's not what you say, is how you say it. Our delivery methods, must be appropriate and must be customized. Even the communication channel that we use. Okay, if we are talking about a man in his 70s, Sending him social media messages, he may not get it. You may want to call or send him an email. If it's the other way around, a young man, you are writing a letter, he may not even pick up the letter from his mailbox. Or an email, he may not even read his email. But you have to send a text or WhatsApp. We need to meet them at their point of need with the men. Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. We need to meet them where they are, be understanding, be loving, be caring, and prioritizing those things that will make them happy. Because, for example, he's complaining of maybe a headache, and you go shouting at him or telling him off, he's not going to feel comfortable. So be caring, be understanding, know that that person is feeling bad, and see what you can do to alleviate the situation, to help him get out of the situation. And as you said, the computer is something that is new to many of us, old generation. We don't bond well with it, but we try to do our best to understand how the whole thing works. And children should not laugh at their elders, their men folk, the men in their lives who do not understand what it is. You send him an email and he doesn't respond. It's not because he didn't see it. He might have seen it, but did not know how to go about responding on the computer. So he may call you on the phone instead and talk with you. Appreciate that. Know that he at least is caring. He at least is understanding. He at least is loving, and knows that your generation is not his generation. The 21st century is not the 20th century. And so things are changing and changing very fast. And some men are hard to catch up. They find it difficult to catch up and to be able to say, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. But it needs courage and it needs your encouragement. I know that you say, but what kind of courage, what kind of encouragement? Just say, oh no, daddy or grandpa or whatever. This is how we do it. Take your time, be patient. I know this generation is a rushing generation, it's a hurrying generation, it's a generation on their feet. So please just give that elder, that man in your life, the time and the respect and the comfort, the comforting words that will make him know what to do when it comes to it, to doing what he needs to do. At work, he has challenges, but you have to encourage him to go, at least be sure that he's at work, that he reports for work, and that he spends the 8 hours or so and does what is expected of him. It is only by encouragement that we can make him to feel comfortable and to be able to do what he has to do. Dr. Crosslin?
Hi, yes. So I know a lot of times, Professor Niasan, you like to always look at both sides. So let's look at both sides. So I think women kind of like have to be told, I love you, like every day, all day long. Like we love to hear, I love you. And so I think and I think the women, maybe it's because we only believe that you love us for that 5 minutes. We got to start over 5 minutes later. And so with men, I think sometimes, like you said, internally, they may not feel respected, so we just have to make sure that we are always kind, because when I ask men if they feel respected by women, 9 times out of 10, they tell me no. So, but they are respected. It's like, just how, and then like some men, they don't want to be called sir. And some women don't want men to hold the door open for them either. So we all got to try to get along. Thank you.
I have a question for you, Dr. Crosslin. Yeah, your camera is better now. You are the founder of Mr. DC. And I really thank you for doing that. I know Ambassador Lisa was supposed to get with you about doing Mr. Philadelphia. These are the kind of things we are talking about to help prepare our men for the future. You may never really understand truly the impact of what you're doing, but recognizing these men, bringing them into the spotlight is doing something to their self-esteem. What I want to find out from you is what kind of programs or activities besides the gala night does Mr. DC do to, you may not necessarily have thought about it in the context of this topic today, preparing them for the future, but what kind of activities and programs or workshops does Mr. DC have that could actually empower these men for the times that we live and for the future, the times to come?
Yeah, so each Mr. DC has a platform, just like us queens. Like we have platforms. We work our platforms all year. Our nonprofits, they all have nonprofits, just like men. And the royal ambassadors to Mr. DC, the dozens of guys who don't get the crown, they also have platforms. And all of their platforms range from autism awareness to wounded soldiers. So they are at the Boys and Girls Club. They are out in the community, fentanyl awareness. They are everywhere, spreading positive messages and supporting other nonprofit organizations. The current Mr. DC, he's in parades. He's everywhere. Anytime someone asks him to show up and support their cause, he is there with boots on and with boots on the ground and ready to work. What I like about his platform, which is not domestic violence, it's youth empowerment, but he is a domestic violence survivor.
Oh, wow.
Yes, a lot of the men, just like women, they've survived a lot. So, and Mayor Cross, Councilman Cross, Ambassador Councilman Cross, she is more working with them on that side of community service than I am. I'm just the founder. She is the director of the programs. And yes, and we also have a board of directors who is an elected official. One of the last year's winner, his program, the attorney general, the state's attorney commissioned him to be a commissioner. And so he does that, multiculturalism. The first year's winner worked for President Biden in his office. The first runner-up raised over $500,000 for his nonprofit, which is to pay for childcare, price costs in DC for underprivileged moms. And I could go on and on and on about what these wonderful men do and criteria that Mayor set for them. She set the bar really high, and they have to have 20 hours of volunteer service before they can even enter into the contest. And last year's winner was gifted a free brand new Lexus car from the Lexus Car Company because he volunteers. And so that's the biggest part for the men is they have to volunteer, They have to have a career, and they have to love their family. Those are the only three criteria that's required for them to enter into the contest. And as you all know, Mr. DC started because of the way George Floyd was treated. Men were disappearing. Men were disappearing. They weren't getting the respect due to them, and they were being pushed back and held down too long. So we wanted to bring these men to the forefront and let them know that they are highly regarded, highly respected,
Awesome.
and we love them and we celebrate them for being the role models that they are and the kings that they are.
That is so amazing. The George Floyd's death, woke a lot of people up. One of our partners, who was an international tax attorney, was spent her life working for other countries and governments. And once that thing happened with George Floyd, she refocused her energy to building up Black men, Black businesses. And so what you did was you did something about what you saw. George Floyd's death was not in vain. You did something, and you need to be applauded for that. Sister Debbie, looks like she dropped her footage. She'll come back on. But over to you, Nielsen.
Yes, I was just wondering whether the men are totally endangered, or are they an endangered species in this 21st century? Have we made it impossible for them to aspire to be better tomorrow than they have been in the past few days? So it is up to us to know that we have to continue to encourage, no matter how long it takes. We continue to push them, not really physically, but mentally, hoping that they will pick one thing or two from here and there, and they'll be able to build that confidence that warrants them to move forward, holding their heads high rather than always looking down at their feet and saying, oh, I wish I had done this rather than that. It takes time, yes. Some men are difficult to change. As they say, it's difficult to teach an old dog a new tricks. But then, if you continue to harp on it without bothering them so much, without nagging, just being kind and doing it as humanly possible, as humanly as you can, then do it so that you push that person without physically getting them to the edge. Just continue to say, oh dear, oh friend, oh brother, you can do it. Just keep going, and you'll get there. It just needs confidence. Confidence is the word. So the men need enough confidence to be able to know that what they have not done in the past, they can do today because they built that confidence, because they have that hope that tomorrow will be better than yesterday.
Yeah, so let me just, they are not totally endangered. The situation is not that bleak. And that is why the stuff we're doing, Dr. Crossing is doing, Mr. DC, all these are things to empower them. But just adding to piggybacking to what you said, is difficult to teach an old dog new tricks. It's the same thing they say about the broom. The new broom may sweep better than the old broom, but the old broom knows all the nooks and crannies of the house because they've been around long enough. So it goes both ways. There are some things that the men can teach the techie people, because after all, the information that we find online was put in by humans. Just the other day, I saw a situation happening in Kenya where a lot of people did not know this, but you can boldly say artificial intelligence is African intelligence, because they are the ones labeling all this data. They are data labelers, that actually search images and different things and label them and feed it online for the so-called artificial intelligence to pick up. And the sad thing was that these laborers are being enslaved. There's one who was being paid $2. I think, I don't know if it was a month or so or a day, something. But the payment platform, the minimum withdrawal is $10. So she never was able to collect any of her money. How can you pay somebody $2 on a platform that has a minimum of $10? I would look for that link and share it here. You know, it's a documentary that just came out, but I'll look for it and share it here. So they are endangered, but not completely endangered. And the good thing with one of the good things about the global village we live in right now is with a phone, not just a smartphone, but with a phone, you can actually expose certain things that are going wrong in remote parts of the world that otherwise, without internet, could not have been brought to light. So we saw talking about the position are meant for the future. Another thing is it's so important to mentor these men. I don't know if you saw the story of this Cameroonian guy from Bamenda that dreamed to play in the NBA or play basketball. He was training using local equipment to train. This guy's story is amazing. It's one of perseverance, it's one of persistence, it's one of resilience. I mean, so this other Cameroonian NBA player, I think his name is Embiid or something, saw the video, or somebody sent the video to him, and it did not take him long to bring that guy to the US. The guy could not believe it. But because you see him training, I mean, this guy will carry some of them up like water bottles. You can look it up on social media. It was amazing to see this young man, what he did. So where there's a will, there's a way. Not everybody has that kind of determination, but it took somebody to reach out and say, let me help you. I have seen your part. You have done your part. Let me give you that boost. Let me be the catalyst to your success. Let me be your destiny helper. Let me be your destiny facilitators. You know, so sometimes our men need destiny facilitators to get them ready for the future and sometimes for the now. Nia song. Let me look for that video.
Thank you. Yeah, look for the video. And talking of which, it is not good to give up when you try the first time. To say try again. Because some men are very difficult to handle. Some men are very resistant to new ideas. So just be persistent. Push them. As I said, without being physical, just mentally helping them to understand that they can do it, they will do it, they will be able to do it. So give them that push, give them that mental encouragement so that they will always be able to aspire to succeed. Say, but why is she or why is he pushing me like this? Why is she or why is he doing this to me? Childcare is one of those challenging things to men these days in the 21st century, because as they struggle to balance between work and family, many male parents are beginning to become babysitters because the wife has to work, or maybe the wife or the significant other is on a better salary than he. So they think that it is better for me to stay home and take care of the kids, and you go and do the work. So just don't say, oh, but I must only be the one to work. You may be the one to work, yes, but you may not be making enough to put food on the table. So let your partner join you. Let your partner do it if she has to do it. And if she can do it, let her do it, especially if she's having a better income than you. Together, you will move forward, and don't relent. Don't surrender. Don't say, oh, yeah, I cannot do it. Childcare is not an easy thing, but it is something you can do, you can learn to do. Taking care of the home is not a difficult thing. You can also decide to be doing the chores while your wife takes care of other things. So please, positioning men does not mean that we only tell them, oh, go buy me this, or give me money for this, or give me money for that. No, positioning men means giving them the opportunity to show what they can do, what they know and they are able to do, and they will do it, growing with time, doing it better, and going forward, looking forward, making sure that what they are doing is helping the entire family, the entire community to be better than it was yesterday. Dr. Crossley?
Yeah, I was just smiling and laughing because I just left a quote unquote love party where Dr. M feels that everyone loves her and that she is love herself, the goddess of love and all of that. So I apologize. I was listening to you, but I was daydreaming about love. And there are a lot of people who love being in love with love. And love does make the world go round. And she really is, you know, a shining star. So I want to just give her a shout out. She's raised a house full of surgeons herself. And I know with Her Excellency, Dr. Pam, being a pharmacist, that is not easy. I think studying to be a pharmacist is right up there with being an astronaut. It's
Especially if you have to know the names of all these drugs. Yes.
yes, and the multiple languages that you speak as well. So yeah, we do need to, you know, respect men, to find ways that we can uplift them. As far as what you were saying, Professor Nita-san, about the younger men being an endangered species, during the George Floyd massacres, some people, you know, were saying that they are endangered. I haven't heard anything on it recently, but I would not like to think that they are endangered. I, you know, like Dr. Pam said, I would want to think of them as thriving and finding opportunities for them. And yeah, just knowing that the playing field is not level. It's not even,
No, it's not.
obviously. And will it ever be? I don't know. But there are certain things that I refuse to do because even for a Black woman, I know it's not fair and I know it's not equal. And the problem is that other people don't know that. So it's not the problem that it's not equal. It's just that they really don't know that. And why would they care anyway? So thank you very much.
You know, Dr. Crossan, when you were speaking, I just thought about this Juneteenth celebration and the awards we just had in Tuskegee. I'm actually still in Tuskegee, but we had this partner of ours come from Ghana. There were about 11 of them, I think 8 men, young men, and 2 young ladies and 1 not so young lady. And it was just so impressive to see the koinonia among these young men, to see the bond. That's what we are talking about, positioning our men for the future, because you have this young leader here who is bringing along other young men with him all the way from Ghana to the US, exposing them to opportunities and just the dynamics among them. One of them was actually a physician. The other one was, excuse me, a journalist. And I don't remember the profession of the others, but just to see that this over the weekend was very, very impressive. And they actually stayed together. So whatever they did it together. And that is team effort and team support. And even when it came to the gala, I was very impressed with the way they dressed. So they dressed appropriately for each of the activities. And that just encouraged me, it gladdened me to see our young men from Africa coming here to historic Tuskegee and feeling at home and fitting in. And they spoke with so much confidence. And of course, you know, Honorable Johnny Ford, he opened his arms and welcomed them, brought them home. They were with him. I mean, so they just felt like he's a father. I think we should be calling him Father Abraham because he's like a father to me. as I'm speaking right now, I'm actually speaking from his house. So he's like a father to everybody. And this is somebody that presidents knows, ambassador knows. He was the first Black mayor of Tuskegee, very down-to-earth servant leader, but he's staying current. Even in his age, at his age, he's staying current. And he is ready for the future. So some of our men, when they hit 60, they think life is over. To me, 60 is the new 40. Moses started his ministry at 80. So if you are 60, you have not even started. So we need to, and one of the things our men need to also keep in mind is, if you don't use your brains, you're going to lose it. The NAACP say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. You have to, our mind was meant to be used. If you don't use your mind for positive things, or you don't feed it the right images or information, the devil operates. That's his favorite workshop. An idle man is mind is the devil's workshop. I don't know who said that originally, but it's a common saying. So our men need to position their minds to be active and to see their future as prosperous, not as a doomsday, but to see themselves prosperous in the future, to see themselves elevated in the future, to see themselves, excuse me, empowered. I need to drink water. Let me hand over to you, Niaso.
Thank you very much. Yes, that being said, men, have your courage. Do not be desperate when it comes to it. Be sure that you're confident, that you have self-confidence to trust in what you are doing and do it the best you can, because if you give up, who is going to do it for you? Make sure that if you are providing for your family, you are doing your best. If you are taking care of the kids, you are doing your best. And whatever you do it with confidence. Do it with hope. Do it with the belief that what you are doing is for the better, not for the worse. Because whatever you do, your manhood will not be diminished by what you fail to do. It will be defined by what you do. It is not what you fail to do that matters. It is how well you do what you do that matters. So be sure to work on it. Be sure to keep hope alive. Be sure to keep your head high and keep walking forward, not going backwards. Yes, Dr. Crossley, I see you're raising your hand up.
Yes, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So when you were younger, your culture, did you have like a rite of passage or manhood? Did you have that ceremony?
No, I never had that. First of all, I left my parents at a very young age. And when I did babysitting for a while, I went to school and I moved from the village to the city to go to secondary school. And I never had any rite of passage. I just kept going because I knew that whatever I was doing was for my betterment, was for a better tomorrow. So I always looked forward with confidence. And as my mother always told me, never look down, always look up. Never trust yesterday. Look forward to tomorrow with confidence, because whatever you do is for a better tomorrow. So work hard at it. As you are going to school, as you are going to secondary school, remember you are the first and the only one from the family doing this. So please do it to the best of your ability. And that kept me going, because I said, if I fail, I'll be failing 10 children and three parents, two mothers, one father. So that kept me going, and I never gave up. I never surrendered. So please, whatever we do, let us continue to trust that we're being entrusted with a responsibility, and we must carry that responsibility to the end. We must do it to the best of our ability. We should not surrender. We should not give up.
Yeah, so I just need to say something to our men. It is okay to cry.
Yes.
It is okay to ask for help.
Sure.
It is okay to let someone know that you are in trouble. Don't bundle it up. You are not alone. And for those men whose self-esteem and self-worth has been damaged, either from childhood or from marriages, because there are some spouses that are horrible. They talk down on their husbands and or their wives. But for those men who have been broken and damaged, it's not over. The biggest vengeance or biggest revenge is success. Instead of allowing these haters and losers to destroy you, to degrade you, to demean you, you should rise above where they have placed you. You don't need validation from anybody. The only person who holds your future is you and God, nobody else.
That's right.
When I saw a movie, I don't remember the name, but it was a story of the person who founded Nike. He used to be an athlete. I don't remember the name of the, no, it was not a movie. It's a Diamond show. It's a show on TV, but it was based on the Nike story. If you see, it was tribulations that forced him to come up with a solution for the problems he had. He was a runner and he could never find the right shoes. He was always bleeding when he was running, something like that. But I watched it a while back. But I'm just saying that turn your adversity into triumph. Any test you go through, let it give you a testimony. So Romans 8:28 says all things work together for our good because we love God and we are called according to his purpose. So it doesn't matter what kind of disappointment you've had. It doesn't matter how many times your business have failed. Keep going. And you can always seek the Lord for directions. You can always ask. You can always learn, but don't quit. Whatever you do, keep going. Keep moving. Don't stand still. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel because that's the worst thing you can do. You throw in the towel, that's the end of your life. And if you are retired, please don't sit at home all day on the couch and watch TV from morning to night. Go out there and do something. I recently spoke with a friend who is a retired physician, and all he was doing was drinking and watching TV. And the children said, you got to get off that couch and go do Uber. So he's driving Uber, not because he needs the money, but so that he can get out of the house and meet people and interact with people. So do something, social interactions. Go outside, meet people, volunteer in your church or in your hospital or at a school. Do something, be productive. Because if you don't, you're going to go before your time. Dr. Crossley.
Hi, I obviously have been around men a lot. So for me, oh my gosh, I tell you, I instead of making the decision for me to join the military, I joined civil service. So I decided that I would work with Los Angeles Police Department. So being around all of these role models of police officers, I think my favorite squadron were the motorcycle officers. And then when we, because they were always together, all of the police officers, they were a team. And I heard you mention the team of men.
Yes, who came from Ghana last weekend.
Yes, that were with Mayor Ford. And I know if people that are watching us could say something, they would say that it should be normal for us to see men group together, support each other as a team. And it would be positive and uplifting. And that's what I hear you saying going forward, that you guys are going to continue to get together and work as a team. Is that right?
Definitely, yes. We are together and we are one.
And that
Yeah.
being said, if I can chime in here, and that being said,
Of course.
Your Highness, you made a few points earlier. You said it's okay to cry. Yes, I personally say that shedding tears is not weakness.
It's strength.
It's a strength that you are building, because when you shed the tears, you clear that out from your mind, and you move forward confident that you are going to do better. Also, use every disappointment, see it not as a stumbling block, but as a building block, because it will help you to do better tomorrow than yesterday. Also, social interactions, if you have friends, which of course many of us do, keep in contact with them. Read newspapers, listen to news, even though news has become so truncated these days that even a professional that I am, I don't listen to just any news anymore. But I try to filter, to shifter, and to filter whatever news I listen to. So please be confident and know that tomorrow is always better. Don't build on those negatives that news folks are out there peddling, because they are doing what they are doing for their own upkeep. So do your own upkeep by being who you are and not being deviated from what you aspired to be from the beginning. Build your confidence, build your self-confidence. Keep in communication with friends, because I know letter writing is no longer a thing of today, because many of us want to just use a phone call. But why not call that friend and chat with that friend? Why not text that friend and text, and he will text back or she will text back, and that way you share ideas. Because what we can destroy very quickly is our mind if we do not take care. Because if we destroy our mind, we're destroying everything. So please look forward, be confident, read books. There are books that were written without the intoxications of today. Read those books. I don't have an author to recommend, but read those books and ensure that you continue to learn. Learning should be an ongoing process and not something that should stop halfway, because you felt that somebody was not doing something for you. Please just keep going and do your best.
Well, you say you don't have a book to recommend. This weekend, not this week, it was, what was it? Thursday was Juneteenth. One of our brothers here at the University of Tuskegee, Professor Bill Fonefandi, gave me a book, Wole Soyinka, the Herald at 90. That was at his 90th birthday.
Yes.
So they had him speak at that event. And he gave me another one, Up from Slavery, Booker T. Washington. And this Thursday, this Juneteenth was my first time ever participating in a Juneteenth celebration, and to have been privileged to have a front row seat at the Tuskegee City Square, where our brothers and sisters used to be hung and lynched. There's still a Confederate statue there, even though it was covered. It was a life-transforming experience. The current president of University of Tuskegee, Dr. Mark Brown, who is an alum and the current president and a former military, I don't know if he was general or don't quote me on that. He brought down the house with his keynote speech. One of the things he said was that when Booker T was a young boy, they didn't give him a name, and they appraised him at $400. Booker T. Washington, Dr. Booker T. Washington, was appraised at $400 and was referred to as a Negro boy, somewhat mulatto. Think about it. He was appraised at $400. He rose above that. The National Business League that he found is turning 125 years this August. But that was somebody that the odds were all against. So if Booker T. Washington can do it, every single man, young or old, listening to my voice can do it. He gave his name, Booker. He gave his middle name, Taliaferro, and he gave himself the last name Washington. He named himself. And I bet you if he had some African names at the time, when he gave himself those names, he would have named himself that. But this man built a legacy, even though he was born a slave. So we need to keep that in mind. Our men today have no excuse. Our forefathers and brothers that were brought here against their will laid the foundation. They paved the trail, they blazed the trail, they found the path, and they were forerunners for us today. So we are coming up at the top of the hour. I'm just saying that whatever problems you think you have, there's always somebody that have more problems than you. Somebody once said that somebody was complaining that they didn't have shoes to wear until they saw somebody who did not have feet and they stopped complaining. You know, so we need to keep in mind that there's always a solution for every problem. Every problem has a solution. Even though there are some people that will find a problem for every solution. That's not the people we're talking about. So we are at the top of the hour. Let me bring up the anthem so we can, Ambassador Lisa, I'm sure, plays this, like she says, multiple times at home. So she's not going to miss it. But let me share the anthem and then I'll make the announcements.
While you're doing that, Dr. Pam, don't let me forget to give you the contact information for Dr. Ben Chaffetz, the founder of the Million Man March, so he can come to your event.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you so much, Dr. Crossley. Wait, I'm trying to share. Hold on. What's going on here? I'm trying to share the sound. I don't know what's going on with my settings. It's not giving me an wait, let me play it and see if it'll give me an option to share the sound. Can you guys hear it?
No, cannot hear the sound. Click on the sound. What is it?
That's what I'm looking for. I mean,
no, it's right there on the right of where you were.
Yeah, song. I do this all the time, but for some reason I can't find it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. Just play with it again and see it will be. Yeah, it's actually playing, but the sound is not coming out.
Yeah, I'm looking for the sound to share. You know,
sound button is just before the timing.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know why it's not. Honestly,
take it back.
No, there's a place to share sound.
Oh, okay.
But I don't see it. That's what I'm saying. For some reason, it's not coming. Hold on a second. I did not change my settings, so I don't know. Hold on. This doesn't make sense at all. Well, I'm going to make the announcements, and is it that I have too many things on my screen or what? This doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to find. It's not giving me the icon to change the to share the sound. Well, I don't know what happened, but hold on a second here. While we are doing that, this doesn't make any sense. Hold on a second. This is crazy, you know.
On your screen, I see the symbol there.
Song, I'm telling you, I'm the one looking. I do this all the time. It's not giving me the option to share the sound.
First have the sound playing in your place, then you look for where to share.
It is playing. It's playing on my end. It is playing on my end.
Oh, we're not hearing it.
Wait, hold on a second. You guys keep talking till I find this thing. Let me mute. You guys keep talking.
Dr. Krosna, are you still with us?
Yeah, she is. Continue the conversation. Let me look for the share button.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward. We're discussing positioning our men for the future on the AfricaOnline Media Corporation, and we are going to continue the program instantly. We're trying to get to share our anthem at the top of the hour and then make announcements of the topics for next Sunday. Of course, it will be the last Sunday of the month, and it's going to be a health topic. We will be talking about that. We will see about that as we go forward. We're waiting for the anthem to start playing, and then we will be able to step out and attend to this young man who is pulling my throat. Yes, please. Yes, just hold on 1 minute. Okay, that being said, let me mute because he is actually impatient. Dr. Crossan, can you unmute,
Yeah,
please?
so
Yeah.
sure. I remember when I noticed that that men could cook and women could, you know, fly airplanes. So it's been a lot of sharing responsibilities between men and women, and it's not that one is better than the other one. It's just that they are different. And working together on any project, whether it's male and female, or female, female, or male, I just think we all should be able to get along and work together. And with that, we are going to play the anthem.
Well, I am going to try one more time. If I don't see it, I'm going to stop. I don't know what, I did not change my settings. It's not giving me the option to share my sound. That doesn't make any sense at all. This is the first time this is happening. It is not, wait, hold on. No, it's, okay, well, I'm just gonna make the announcements. I don't know why it's crazy. It's not letting me share my sound. It's not even giving me the button. It's not.
I could see the button to press play.
No, I'm playing it, but to share the sound so you guys can hear the sound, that button is not showing up, and it normally shows up. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know what happened. Wait, let me know if you can hear it. There are just too many things open on my laptop, and it's not giving me that option to. Can you guys hear it?
I see the microphone, but I don't see it playing though.
Okay, wait. Now it came up. Okay, hold on. The button is up now. There are just some icons that were covering it.
Okay, I can hear it.
Okay, yeah. There were just all these things here were covering it. That's what I'm saying. That was not coming up. But hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Africa.
Loud and clear.
Oh,
yes, I can hear it.
Okay.
Africans for Africa. 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 Africans have many bright ideas. If only you let us share. If you really want to know my history, please come, sit down, listen to my story. God gave us a wisdom. He guides our footsteps, makes us shine and transform. Hey, as one people, with so many cultures, yet indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us all unite behind AfricaOnline Media Corporation. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. It's time to come together, promote awareness, progress, and solution. Hey, Africans for Africa. Africans for Africa. Africans for Africa. All Africans can rally for a common cause, to believe without judgment in what our brother does. To identify and resolve our challenges, to allow each other's ideas without regard to standards. As one people with so many cultures, yes indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Let us solve all the problems plaguing our continent. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us empower Africans in and out of Africa. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. AfricaOnline Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. They have all the resources we need to benefit our society. Oh. Education for everyone. If we believe prosperity for Africans, if we believe medical facilitation for Africans, if we believe stand up, Africa, yes, for Africa. AfricaOnline Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Africa is the cradle of civilization, the motherland. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. We were enslaved not because we were weak, but because of our hospitality. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Jump on the AfricaOnline miracle jet. Don't be left behind. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Together we shall succeed. Together we will win. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. We are writing our own story, the truth, and we shall tell it to the world. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. No more lies. Africans own Africa.
No more lies. Africans own Africa. I wrote that anthem about 6 years ago under the anointing of God Almighty. And I am grateful to God. I am grateful to God that I was able to do that. We own full rights to that song. We are going to be discussing mental health, men's mental health. Next Sunday, our in-house psychologist, Dr. Nicholas Santos will be here to discuss that. So we encourage everyone to Zoom in. Dr. Crossley, please invite some of your men from Mr. DC and also from the Million Man March. I saw the information you sent me on Dr. Chavis. So our sister organization, Africa's Brain Bank, is having its 6th annual summit and charity ball Labor Day weekend in New York. If you go to our website, africasbrainbank.org, you can see register or learn more. When you click it, it's going to take you to this screen. Here, it tells you about the event, and there are no ticket sales at the gate, at the door. All ticket sales are final. We have, oh my God, 67 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds. So it gives you the highlights of all the activities from Thursday through Labor Day Monday. And we have different ticket options. You can just purchase for Saturday for $250 gives you access to this morning symposium and the evening gala. You get to eat breakfast and dinner for all that. So that is only going to cover your cost of participation. You can do a 2-day pass, or you can do total access, and then you can reserve a table for 10. And if you have a business, you can register your business and you get to speak. So technically, you're paying only $500 for a lifetime promotion and for a speaking spot at the business session, because total access is $1,000 for just regular people. Again, we give options from $250 to $1,000, and then you can be a brand sponsor. We need sponsorships. We also have opportunities for exhibitors, Dr. Crossley. So we added that there. To exhibit is $250 per day. If you're not going to eat, if you're going to eat, it's $500 per day. The venue has double foyer. So it's an exhibitor's dream to exhibit there. Normally in the past, we just showcase books, but this time we are open to high quality products and services. So if you want to exhibit, you click here, you have the option, of how many exhibition space you need. And then you go down, you can advertise your business, you say promote your business here. If you click buy lifetime advertisement, it will take you to the advertisement place. The advertisements go from $250 to $1,000, depending on the size. And then these are our amazing speakers. I'm going to be uploading some more speakers as they come, but we have quite a lineup. And does anybody recognize this young man here, Mr. Songlefan Kemleke? He's one of our honorees. So he is there. So Dr. Bitazon is our honoree too. So we have the honorees. Wait, this thing should show them as honorees. I have to go there and update that so people know who is moderating, who is an honoree. And so I need to put honoree, where there's honoree on the, so Niason, I have to put honoree on your name, So that's it. We need your support. We're going to be discussing brain drain. And even though I'm coordinating the event, this particular topic is very dear to my heart. I will be delivering the keynote for the first time. So we need all the support. I need all of you else to get the sponsors to come in. We're trying to get about 100 students in the New York City area, Bronx, Brooklyn, New Jersey, to come. They are the future. We are talking about positioning our men for the future. We need to position these young men for the future. So Dr. Crossley, maybe Mr. DC can take up that project. We're trying to get some young students from around New York, even DC. DC is within driving distance. So it costs $250 per student to attend Saturday morning and evening. We also have students, about 6,000 lined up for STEM education. That is $300 per student. So please add that to your agenda, Miss Senior Virginia Wall, and maybe Mr. DC can assist with that. So Niason, I'm gonna hand over to you.
Thank you very much. I don't see Dr. Crossley, and I hope she's still with us.
No, she's there. She's there. She's muted.
So I wanted to start a round of the table at this point.
You can do that. Before you do that, I just want those who want to donate.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you cannot come, your money can come. We are 501c3, so if you make a donation, you get to write it off your taxes. All right, Niason.
All right. That being said, I wanted Dr. Crossley to be the first speaker to give her last word as we wrap up for today.
Yes, thank you all again, Dr. Pam, Professor Niason, and to all the viewers, to the global larger audience that will even watch the replay. Thank you all for the opportunity, the platform, and yeah, just looking forward to a bunch of wonderful men that are going to start showing up on this show. So I'm excited about that. Thank you so much.
And Dr. Crossley,
Yes.
Dr. Crossley, I'm sending you the link for this show. You can share it with your people.
Okay, and I did send you Dr. Ben Chavis information.
Yeah, I saw it. I acknowledge it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Your Highness, your last word as we wrap up today.
Well, like I said, let's encourage our men let's position them for the future. And as we are discussing this, New York City will be a great place for them to come, especially the young ones, so that they can be prepared. You get to network with change makers, influencers, decision makers, you know, icons from different industries, all the way from Nollywood to Wall Street, you know, to Hollywood. So we want to encourage everyone, and like our brother James Brown said, be black and proud. He said, I am black and proud. So be proud of who you are. We are the original people, and we're going to be the final people on this earth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We must realize that we have honored our men throughout the month of June. And next week, we'll be talking about their psychological health. We'll be talking about their mental health, rather, not psychological. We'll be talking about their mental health. So please join us next Sunday as we look forward to concluding the month of June and honoring men as we've done all this time. We should remember that men are not in crisis because of who they are. It is just because of the pressures of the day, economic insecurity, isolation, and maybe harmful norms that society is imposing on them. Accept your man as he or she is, and please let us move forward